The Old West has always been sold to us as a land of dramatic endings, gunfights at sunset, last words whispered in dusty streets, legends dying exactly as they lived. But the truth is far more unsettling. Many of the most famous figures of the Old West did not die in glory, courage, or cinematic fashion at all. Their real endings were hidden, altered, or deliberately rewritten to protect reputations, sell newspapers, or preserve myths that were more profitable than reality. When you peel back the layers of legend, you discovered that the West didn't just exaggerate lives, it lied about deaths. While Bill Hickok, remembered as the fastest gun alive, didn't die facing an enemy. By the end of his life, he was nearly blind, suffering from illness, and struggling financially. He was shot from behind while playing cards, distracted and vulnerable, his legendary skills useless in his final moment. Billy the Kid is officially said to have died at 21. But the lack of clear identification, conflicting witness accounts, and later sworn testimonies suggest the possibility that the most famous outlaw of all may have escaped death and lived quietly under another name, while the world believed a legend had ended. Jesse James, portrayed as a fearless rebel hero, died not in a gunfight but through betrayal, murdered by a man he trusted while standing, unarmed in his own home, exhausted, paranoid, and far removed from the romantic outlaw image that followed his name. Wyatt Earp, forever tied to the gunfight at the OK Corral, didn't die in the West at all. He lived into old age, watching Hollywood turn his life into fiction, spending his final years peacefully in California, far from the violence that defined his legend. Doc Holliday, the sharp-witted gambler and gunman, didn't fall in a blaze of bullets. He died slowly and painfully in a sanitarium, consumed by tuberculosis, weak, coughing blood, and aware that the violent life he led had finally caught up with him in the quietest way possible. Annie Oakley, one of the greatest marksmen who ever lived, survived long after the Wild West faded, but her later years were marked by injury, financial loss, and being forgotten by a public that once celebrated her skill. Calamity Jane, often depicted as fearless and wild, died poor, sick, and battling alcoholism. Her real life far harsher than the exaggerated tales told about her. Bush Cassidy was reported killed in Bolivia, yet strong evidence, family testimony, and inconsistencies in official reports suggest he may have survived and returned to the United States, living under an assumed identity while his legend died overseas. Pat Garrett, the man who supposedly brought justice by killing Billy the Kid, didn't die as a hero either. He was ambushed and killed under mysterious circumstances, possibly connected to debts, land disputes, or political enemies, leaving behind more questions than answers. Even lawmen like Bass Reeves, one of the most successful marshals in American history, were nearly erased entirely. Not because they didn't matter, but because their true stories didn't fit the narrative the nation wanted at the time. Native American leaders were often officially recorded as dying in battle, when in reality many died, imprisoned, starved, or broken by forced relocation and government neglect. Some legends died on paper only, allowing authorities to close cases, while the truth remained inconvenient. Others lived long enough to watch their own stories be rewritten, simplified, or stolen. What emerges from these forgotten endings is a chilling truth. The Old West was not a place of heroic conclusions. It was a world of uncertainty, betrayal, sickness, and survival. Legends weren't born from truth, they were manufactured after death, shaped by newspapers, dime novels, and later Hollywood films that needed clean endings and clear heroes. The real stories were messier, quieter, and often deeply tragic. These men and women didn't die the way you were told, because the truth didn't sell as well as the myth. And in the Old West, the story that survived mattered far more than the life that actually ended.